What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we are going to be going over the charts. I hope you guys had a fabulous 3-day weekend for those of you in the US, and for everybody else, I also hope you had a fabulous weekend. Let's take a look at what's going on in the charts. We're going to focus a lot on the fibs today. We'll go over gold, silver, S&P, Dow Jones, the DXY, and of course, Bitcoin. Take a quick look at Litecoin and Ethereum. And also BNB. I've been warning you guys since last November about Binance and BNB. We're going to take a look at that chart, see how it's playing out. Definitely stick around for the whole video. And if you guys would take a second out, smash that thumbs up. Also, leave your comments down below. I know a lot of you have been talking about me doing live streams again. We're getting situated in the house, so that will be coming soon. Make sure you smash the likes. And let's get into it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have been nailing this whole market since December 2nd, 2021. Everything that has happened, we have expected. We had the false bottom with our 100% rally. I do believe we have lower lows coming. But remember, none of this is financial advice. This is my view of the markets and my opinion. So let's take a look. So as for gold, you guys know I have targets for gold around 1565 and 1424. Now I threw the fibs on here from this low right here from our wave 4 low, this being a wave 5. And as of right now, our next point of support is the 0.236 at 1841. Now, of course, if we blow up here and break this high, then this is all invalidated. But as of now, I'm looking for 1841. And guys, I know these targets seem kind of crazy and low if you're new to the channel, but if you've been paying attention, most of the people here have. We believe, or I believe, the biggest money grab in history is coming. I believe the DXY, which is the dollar index compared to other currencies, is gonna skyrocket. Markets are gonna crash because smart money gets into the dollar while it skyrockets. And then once the market crashes, the dollar should be high, stocks low. They switch back over into stocks with the high value dollar and ride it up for a very long time. But I think this crash is going to be massive, guys. I mean, massive. I think we are in an everything bubble. That's not bad news. It's good news if you take advantage of it, right? Not doom and gloom. I am not a perma bear, as I've been saying since 2021. When it's time to be bull, I will be bull. Until then, bear with me. All right. So looking at it, let's take a look at it in the weekly first, right? On gold, I do believe this is a huge 5-wave count. Finished right back here. We had our wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was 5 here. We'll go back into the daily. I'll talk about, whoops, that's the hourly. Don't want that. Daily on gold, triple top. Right here, triple top, 5th wave, I do believe. Like I said, I'm looking for 1841. We'll see how it reacts there. If that breaks, looking for 1689. Then I have had these targets here for 2 years, 1565 and 1424. If those break and we do have a severe market crash, we could be looking at these targets here. But we'll talk about that if the time comes. Silver, same thing. Get this out of our way here. I put the fibs on from this low to this high. You can see we're bouncing around the 0.382 fib. I believe next time we lose this 382 fib at 23, about 2350, right in that range. Your next target is going to be right around 20 bucks. And if that breaks, we go test the lows again. And you guys know I have had a target down here. If we look at it in the daily, down here at 1562. If we do break that, that's just a measured move from this triangle up here where we broke down, right? If we do break that, we could be seeing as low as $7. A lot of people say that's crazy. But if you were around for the big dump back here when oil crashed, it was pretty nasty. So just be careful. Nevertheless, I think we have much lower to go in everything except the DXY. But here's the Dow Jones. The market is currently open right now. We'll see what happens here, but I do want to show you these fibs from this high to this low, the retracement, right? we are playing around at the 0.786. Now, we also have this rising wedge in here. I do believe if we break down from this rising wedge, we have a measured move we could take from the widest point of the red wedge right here, get us down to somewhere around 27.5 to break this low over here. But of course, first we have support here to break at 34.70. If we break that, your next major support is going to be around 32.8, then 31.8. And guys, in the big picture, if I'm correct on the biggest money grab in history, I think we could go to some severe lows for the Dow. So again, guys, I'm just putting a warning out here to be extremely careful. I do think this market is teetering on the verge of a major collapse. So NASDAQ, you got to see in NASDAQ, we've been watching this rising channel. We're getting rejected at the middle of it now. Now, again, if we break this 16,000 range, then there could be a chance of, the bull market continuing for all markets. But again, there's always that possibility. But again, I do not think that's happening. I don't even think we're going to see new all-time highs in any of these markets. We do have a target down here. If we break this 14.7 range, around 12.5. And again, guys, it could go much lower, but we'll be keeping an eye on this. Also, silver, S&P. S&P right now, we got our fibs on here, right? From this swing high to this swing low. We're getting rejected at the 0.786, which is 45.37. If we break above that, then we could possibly, and that holds as support, then we could go up and test for resistance at the all-time high, right? But next thing I'm expecting here is to come back down to retest this 43.56 range, which is the 0.618 fib that we got to bounce from here. If we break through there, we do have a measured move from this rising channel to about 37.35. But again, if you watch and just play the fibs, right, you can see how these fibs are always support and resistance, right? So our next support would be around 41.58. If that was to break, looking at 4,000. If that breaks, looking at 38.08 or 37.35. But again, once that breaks, I think we could come all the way down to this long-term trend line right here would get us down to around the 27 to 27.5 range, right? So be careful. All right, Tesla playing out beautifully. We have our fibs on here also. Got rejected at our 0.618. As expected, we had this target here way before. We also had these targets before we broke down. Let me get this out of the way. Before we broke down from here, we had that 151. I said if that broke, look for a bounce. That's why these are blue bounce areas. 106, we did get our big bounce there. But as you guys know, I am a buyer at around 50 to 60 bucks for Tesla. I do believe we will be seeing that. Just makes sense, guys. And I know a lot of people always want to talk about the hype and the news and all that stuff. If that's your thing, have at it. I rely on the charts. I believe you see the news in the charts way before you hear about the news, right? DXY, bullish as hell. I have been since, if you watch this white falling wedge, right? We broke out of that here. We also had this yellow one in here, this smaller one. But as of right now, looking at our fibs from our swing low back here, do I have that on the right one? Yeah. Swing low to our swing high. Let me get the RSI off there so we got more room. To the swing high, right? We came down. We did break the 0.5 fib. We didn't quite hit our 618, but got a nice bounce. If we break it back above this 105, around 105.1 range for the DXY, my next target's around 106. If that breaks, we look for our next fib level, which is 108. And then we have a measured move target off of this yellow falling wedge here, which would be that 109. Now, if we look at the big white falling wedge, right, we go from the widest point of the wedge, bring it to where it broke out right here. That gets us up to about that 115 range, which would be testing the old highs. I'm sure we'll get a pullback then if we do get up to that range, but I still believe it'll go much, much higher. This is the weekly, right? I've showed you guys in the weekly on the RSI. I think we're going to come back down, retest this bottom, and that will signify our bottom for Bitcoin, which I believe will be at the end of this year. I've been saying since December 2nd, 2021, you open my video or open my YouTube page, it's playing right there. I had said watch for a 95% correction, which would get us down to possibly as low as 3,500. But as you guys know, my target's between 35 and 9,700, and I've showed you why many a times. We'll go over a little bit more. We'll also go into the 4-hour here in a minute. But as of right now, we're getting rejected at the golden pocket zone, 0.618. If this holds as resistance around this between 26.2 and 28.2, if this holds as resistance on the weekly, remember this is the weekly chart. We'll go into the smaller time frames here in a minute, but then we go test that 17.1 again. If that breaks, I do believe we are headed back down much, much lower, guys, much lower. Here is looking at this as a falling wedge pattern, right? A big correction before, a bull market, which I do not believe the bull market is going to shoot straight up like everybody is telling everyone, right? So as of right now, I do believe our last wave will get us down to below or around 37 to 9,700. You can see also here on the BRVP, right? These are high volume nodes. And where are those at? Those are right on these targets, and those are measured move targets. Let's zoom in on the weekly real quick and check out our red rising wedge here, which we broke down from. And if we were to take a measured move from that, let's go to the widest point of the wedge, which would be right here. We would have to extend this down. So somewhere in there, this isn't going to be exact. I just want to show you guys. But that gets us down to around 13.6. Again, I think it's a very good possibility we go much, much lower. Oh, also in the weekly, right? We've had our weekly MACD cross. We had a fake out back to the upside, but only to return back to the downside here. Another reason, guys, I'm super bearish here for the end of this year, right? This is an old chart. We had these counts perfect. This one I didn't think would break the all-time high. Obviously, it did. And then we started looking at the bubble pop pattern, which still is playing out. Told you guys, watch for a false bottom. Now, these targets, you can go back, way back in my videos, anytime back in here in 21 or 22, we had these targets, which we nailed. We broke through. We bounced here at 25, broke through, hit our 15.6. We also had a lower target possible, right, for the false bottom. But this is the one we took the false bottom from. I told you 100% rally after the false bottom and then continue down to the true bottom. I've been talking about this for years. Go back and watch my videos, listen. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that so you understand how to learn, how to see what markets are going to do and, get a better prediction, get a better feel for the markets, right? So once this area breaks again, that 25.7, your next target is going to be right here again. And then, of course, we have our 97 down here. 97 is, I think, the best case scenario if my theory is correct, right? If that breaks, then we look for that 37, possibly as low as 1,500. If that happens, oh my gosh, who knows what's going to happen? But even though I believe we're going to come down here, I think the alts are in serious trouble. I've been talking about the bubble pop being the scam coin and altcoin washout. Get rid of all the garbage, right? Garbage exchanges, garbage projects, garbage coins, to really see what's real out there. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. Link is down below. There's also contests you can join in there totally for free. So you have zero risk in to get used to. And you can trade and actually win real money. It's a great way to get familiar with the exchange without putting in any risk. Definitely check them out. They are by far the best exchange out there, in my opinion. but always be careful of any exchange you're using, just in case, right? Don't have more money on an exchange than you're actually using to trade. So anyways, here's a word from the sponsor, and then we'll get into the 4-hour charts, and then we'll look at the altcoins, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, and BNB. Stay tuned.
Begin your path to financial freedom. Gain up to a $7,000 bonus on us. Register and use promo code. Deposit and enjoy a 7% bonus. Available now. Link in the description.
All right, guys, here is the 4-hour. So this is going to look a little sloppy, but we've been watching this. Remember, way back here, once we broke this line, now, what I was talking about, I thought we were going to turn around a little quicker, but I did give this target. I said if we got up here, I was going to short the out of it at 31.5. Look at where we nailed. Look at where we are now. Nailed it. We hit that trade. I did put stops in at 27 once we got down here. Got stopped out. Put trades in the other day. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll see where I shorted from there. Twitter link is down below in the description, along with the free Discord link. And let's look at where we're at. So right here, this is the trend line we've been watching. We've been getting wicks below, right, on the 4-hour. And we're getting rejected now at our old measured move target, 21 or 26.2. Now, if that breaks up, our next resistance is going to be around 26.7, and then our 200 EMA is around 27.2. But if we look at the fibs, right, on the 4-hour, we are bouncing around on the 0.382 fib right here, 25.6. If this holds and we do get through these resistance levels, then we would look for that 28,000 for another rejection at the 0.236 fib. Now, if we open and close a 4-hour below this 25.6, then this should be our new resistance at 25.6 and our next target in the 4-hour being around 23.7. And then, of course, we have much lower ones. We have our 0.618 fib down here at 21.7 and our 0.786 at 18.9. Actually, just call it 19,000. I know a lot of people think we'll never drop below 20,000. Well, if you were around back when we were above 60,000 and I was calling for these lows, everybody said there was no possible way it would ever go below 20. And look at where we're at now. We went way below it. We bounced above. Guys, when they push all the bullish stuff and that's to get you to hold your crypto so they can dump on your heads. I've been explaining this for so long. Oil. So we nailed our target here. We made the target back in June of 22, right? I told you once we broke this trend line, watch for a retrace up to here, which we got. You can go back, watch the videos. The prices are there. I don't move this stuff. And then we had a target of 62.70, nailed it. Now I said, watch, we'd bounce around here for a while. Once we break this bottom trend line here, we'll get back to that 62.70, and then I'm looking for 27, right? That is my target as long as we break the 62.70. FTT compared to Binance, look at the similarities in the charts. Charts kind of tell you what's going on, right? That human emotions, they don't change, and they show up in the charts along with financial things going on, whatever. It's baked in the charts. If you don't believe that, at least open your mind up to watch it and see if you can see things happen before they actually happen by using charts, trend lines, and things like that, right? So I do believe it could be very bad, but let's zoom in here on this next chart, right? We'll look at it on the daily, zoomed in there. Told you to watch for a break of this yellow trend line, which we got, came back up, retested it, and then we had this blue channel right here. We had a target of 2027, nailed it. And I said, once we break this 2027, look for 148.4. Once that breaks, 67. Now, if this holds, then possibly things turn around and it's all good. But I think there's a high probability that doesn't hold, guys, especially with all the markets going down, right? Crypto has never seen a traditional bear market. Never. Traditional markets have been in a bull run since Bitcoin was created, right? Be careful. I cannot stress enough. Now, again, none of this is guaranteed, but all the charts are pointing to the same thing. XRP, this is a weekly chart. I showed you guys this before we got all this, that we never open or close a weekly chart above this white trend line. If we do get above it, we could wick as high as the yellow, which we didn't even make. So each time you get huge hype, right? This thing is the most hyped pump and dump coin I have ever seen, right? It never reaches its old highs. Now, if we ever break this yellow trend line, then yes, maybe it can be bullish. I'm not saying you can't trade this and make a lot of money, because you can, but to look at this in a long term, this is a dying chart. This is a dying chart. I always say dying penny stock. People get so mad, but the pattern is just a dying stock with hype and then crash, hype and then crash. The hype is getting less and less power, and the crashes are getting worse and worse. So be careful. Ethereum, well, we broke our trend line here that we talked about. Now, if we get back above it, then you can be bullish on Ethereum, and that's around 1837. But as of now, my target has been 1436. Once this bottom area breaks, we have targets of 926, 280, and 114. Write them down, guys. Litecoin, we got our bounce right at that 60.88. Now, where is the price we're looking for now? So we're looking at this 61.27, right? If that breaks, our next target's going to be around $54. And then you guys know my target since way back here in 21, 15 to $23 is what I'm looking for. If it goes lower than that, it may go to next to nothing. So be careful. Yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I think we're in a huge bubble. Just be cautious, be careful out there. Watch who you're listening to. Also, a lot of these guys in crypto have only been around since crypto. They weren't in markets, don't understand markets. I just want to put that out there. I'm not saying they mean to harm you, but saying they have lack of experience and knowledge of how markets work. So be careful out there. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.